I can be an academic because I work at a university as well, but my military background leads me towards a bit more bluntness in what I say and how I think about things. And I think the first thing, this morning I was talking to some officers, your army officers, and one of the things that came out was, one comment was, we're European by birth, but Eurasian by persuasion. And I don't know whether that's true, but what I am clear from the last couple of days is that you do not yet seem to be totally clear who you want to be. And I think this is really important. I think, are you European? Are you with us? Is that what sits in your head? Because if it is, you need to shout it out loudly. You can't stick here in the middle of this mess, and you are in a mess. I mean, has any country in the world got more, I'm going to say enemies, around the outside than you? I don't think so. You are in a sticky position. In a sticky position at a sticky time in the world. And as Lilith said, you know, Russia and Turkey are acting as a bloc. It may not be completely true, but by goodness it's close. In reality, the reality is close, even if the words are not necessarily there. They're doing the same things, and many of those are things that are against you. Let's be blunt about it and clear. And you've lost a war, and you will not win another one by staying in the middle of your thinking, as you are at the moment. When you lose a war, you have to change. That means change military, change society, change everything. But you're not changing, you're drifting. Drifting badly at the moment, drifting badly in a sea without paddles. You've got to get clarity in your own brains for the future of all of you. There's no question about this. You've got to get clarity. Because at the moment, and thank you Lilith for reminding me of the phrase, you are in the worst of both worlds. And somehow you've got to get out of the worst of both worlds. Your vulnerabilities, your neighbours, none of your neighbours are nice. Come on, let's get real. None of them are nice. Georgians are great. Okay, we'll keep the Georgians, and they've got good food, and we're okay with that. So, you know, okay, maybe you have to ally a bit more with the Georgians, but basically around the outside. But even the Georgian government at the moment is not exactly the most friendly towards the West in many areas. So one has to be, you know, realistic about this in things. Who are your friends? Are they going to be on the Eurasian side, or are they going to be on the West? Is your friend America? Is it you? Well, then you have to make it so. You say no. You have to make it so. You've got the diaspora, and that's what they're here for, to show that the friendship is here. You've got diaspora in Lebanon, Canada. You have to make your friends and your neighbours and your relatives pay up. You have to make them fight for you, because they are one of your biggest tools. You heard in the first talk, you've got diplomats that are not exactly the world's best diplomats. People, you're paying for them. It's your money. Your tax is paying for those diplomats. Have you written and complained? No. Why? It's your money, it's your money, it's your money, probably not yours. But some of the others of you, it's your money. And if it's your money, you've got to actually argue about this, because, you know, they're not doing exactly your business, and they should be. I'll finish with a couple of last things. With your military, there is no question. If you want to go with the West, you've got to bleed the West dry for support and help with the military. There are a lot of people who will help you, but you've got to ask, and you've got to be clear what you want, and you've got to make it work. And you have to be open and honest. And openness and honesty are the two big things that your military will find hard. But you've got to be. Otherwise the West can't help, because you can't help if you don't know. And if everything's secret, you don't know, you can't help. So to get help from the West, you've got to be open and honest. Got to be. And the second thing is, if you are European and not Eurasian, then you've got to differentiate yourselves in your culture from being Eurasian. You've got to look at your own culture and learn your own culture and understand it and say, what is the culture that we've got that's good? What is the culture in the West that's good? What is it we want to be the same as? And that actually means a bit of study. For the academics in the room, a bit of writing. A bit of hard writing. What is it, the things that you do? You cannot have, as they call it in Ukraine, a hetman. You can't be a democracy if you've got one leader. It doesn't work, people. If you're going to be a democracy, you've got to be a democracy. You've got to get that value and understand what being a democracy means. It means you've got to write to the Prime Minister and tell him his dead diplomats are rubbish. Someone said that before me, not me. His diplomats are rubbish and we want you to change them. And why? That's what democracy means. You get hard about being society and hard about being who you are as people. On that note, I finished. But I just finished with the one last bit. Where you're stuck here in this place, you've got to become like a hedgehog. So thorny and prickly that no one is going to bite you. At the moment, you're not a hedgehog. You're a bit like a half-dead rat. Okay, you've got to change. Food's good though. Thank you. Questions?